I didn't get a word in edgewise for 90 freaking minutes. I couldn't talk once. I had to practically interrupt at about 80 minutes to let him know, I need to go. This has gone over what I expected it to go, and I need to be leaving soon. So, and then of course he was like, yeah, but, and then kept on going and on. Hey there, it's me, Stefan Burchard, the Bowtie Coach with LimitLESS Academy, with your latest episode of the Networking Made Simple podcast. Networking Made Simple is an exploration of networking and social business connections for entrepreneurs, but especially for introverted entrepreneurs like me. Today is a solo episode, and this podcast is about networking strategies for introverts, how to make authentic connections. So I actually wrote a guide about this. So if you DM guide, I'll send you the guide and add you to my mailing list. But really, it's pretty simple with making authentic connections. A lot of people, when they go to networking events, especially introverts, they think that they have to meet as many people as possible. And there is nothing further from the truth than that. Personally, if I make one or two connections at an event, whether it's one I've been to before or a new one, it doesn't matter. One or two quality connections, and I feel like it's a win. So how do we do that? Well, we have prepared questions to get to know people. So this goes right out of Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You get them to like you by talking about themselves. That is my big secret. I ask questions to get them to talk about themselves over and over and over again, question after question. Well, don't inundate them, and some of the easiest questions to ask that lead to them talking for quite some time are not what do you do, but what do you love about what you do? What got you into the business? What lights you up? What sets you on fire about your ideal client? Those are all questions that you can ask this person about their entrepreneurial journey. If you're like in a sit-down coffee time with somebody, you can ask them questions like, what is your biggest challenge? What is your dream client? But you basically get them to talk about themselves. What is your background? What led you up to this place to becoming an entrepreneur? What was the inciting incident? What was that straw that got you to actually commit to being an entrepreneur? Because let's face it, being an entrepreneur is a challenge. It is hard work. And anybody who's out there trying to pretend otherwise is full of malarkey. Ah, I love that word, full of malarkey. That just sounds so cool, rolling off the tongue. So that's my big secret. I just get people to talk about themselves over and over and over again. And I do this by having a prepared list of questions. So you might want to take a couple minutes, at the end of your day when you're not working and you have time to focus and do some reflection, and just what kind of questions would you want people to ask you about your journey as being an entrepreneur? Because most likely, if who you're meeting with is going to reciprocate, they're going to ask you to answer the same question. That's why it's important for you to identify the questions you would want people to ask you. That way you're prepared to answer the question yourself. But more importantly, we just want to get them to talk about themselves, what they love, ask them about their life outside of work. Ask them about their children. What's their favorite vacation spot? Anything to just get them to talk. And they will just think you're the best thing since sliced bread. I don't know how many times that has happened to me. I swear to God, I have done this multiple times. And every single time, I remember one time I met with this guy. I'm not kidding. 90 freaking minutes I met with this guy. It was supposed to be creating some kind of a partnership in business. Obviously, I said no, but the dude just talked about himself the entire time. I didn't have to ask any questions. He just kept going on and on and on and on and on, dominated the conversation, talked all about himself, his business, why it worked, why it didn't work. We never even got to the part of partnership or how we could help each other with our businesses. It just never got there. But later on, I come to find out from other people that had talked to him and knew him, they said, oh God, he just thinks you're the best thing since sliced bread. I'm like, really? I didn't get a word in edgewise for 90 freaking minutes. I couldn't talk once. I had to practically interrupt at about 80 minutes to let him know, I need to go. This has gone over what I expected it to go, and I need to be leaving soon. So, and then of course he was like, yeah, but, and then kept on going and on. Oh my goodness. So that's a whole nother podcast about how to get out of conversations, how to gracefully walk away from conversations like that where somebody's dominating, and we don't want to be rude. You really don't. Remember the law of karma. Are you feeling overwhelmed lately, frazzled and unproductive? Well, you're not alone. This is where coaching can come into play. As your Bowtie coach, I specialize in helping introverted entrepreneurs navigate these waters. Together, we can tailor a self-care and business strategy that fits your unique personality and business goals, ensuring you don't just survive, but thrive. Click the link below to get a discovery call time with me, and let's explore together. Bye. Number one, law of karma. What you put out comes back to you. So I'm a firm believer in being positive and supportive. Even when somebody's being a total jerk butthole to me, I do my darndest to stay positive and uplifting no matter what. So sometimes it means I got to walk away from a conversation. So let's get back to our topic. I'm tangented there. So quality connections. Really, is somebody going to do business with you or refer you if they don't know you? That's the bottom line. And the answer is no. So running around a networking event, passing out business cards or collecting them like you're playing poker is not a good strategy as far as networking and building connections. Maybe there's one or two people there that really draw your attention, or maybe there's a period where everybody gets to speak for 30 seconds about their business, and one or two people actually catch your ear and you want to connect with them. So go up to them immediately afterwards and just give them your card and say, hey, I was really struck by what you said, or impressed, or whatever it is that drew you to them. Give them your card and say, I'd love to go out for coffee with you and get to know you better. Anybody who's anybody is most likely not going to say no unless they're just too insanely busy. And even then, they're still going to be open to the idea. They're just going to be really busy, and you'll have to work with their schedule to figure it out. So that, in a nutshell, is one of the strategies for getting to build quality connections. Another one is to give. So this comes right out of BNI, Business Network International, Giver's Game. So before we worry about receive, have our hands out, hey, what do you got for me? What can you give? What can you give someone? So, for instance, when I meet somebody, my intent is to partner with them because for my businesses, these other businesses can support my business, or they might be able to provide me referrals. So I'm a realtor as well as a business coach. So in real estate, that would be people who could serve my clients. So pest control people, contractors, handyman, anybody who could help out somebody with their home. And as a business coach, that would be people like CPAs, estate attorneys, other coaches that specialize in something that I don't, educational opportunities, anything like that. So those are the partnerships we want to create, and letting them know up front, hey, I might have some referrals for you. I have X, Y, and Z clients, and they're constantly asking me for something. I had somebody ask me at the end of Sunday the other day that they're looking for a copyright attorney. And I'm like, oh my God, that is quite a challenge. But interestingly enough, I did do a copyright for LimitLESS Academy earlier this year. So guess what? I have a resource. So I'm going to send him over that resource. But this resource isn't somebody that I built a relationship with. The person requesting it is somebody who is a partner of mine. They're a business partner of mine and a past client. So anyway, in my mind, to build connections, it's about getting them to talk about themselves, learning about them, not worrying about me, teaching them about who I am. They're going to ask questions. It's going to come up. But if my intent is to learn everything I can about them, it's going to stay with them. They're going to remember that. And then the other one is the intent to give them business. Let them know. You might have business now, maybe you don't, but your intention is. And the way I would approach it if I don't have business now is I could say, well, I get a lot of real estate buyers and they're always in need of a handyman. So that's like a good feeding of a referral, letting them know, hey, I intend to use you. And then that behooves them to continue to create that relationship so that you can build that trust, because you better trust that sucker before you refer them, because if not, it reflects on you, not on them. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you'd like more content like this, DM join and we'll add you to our mailing list. Have a great day. Bye.